Oh, hello, Libra. How are you going? How are you doing? What's up for you? I only ask these questions because you guys are up first for your October general readings, and you guys are usually in the know. So I always ask people that are in the know, like, what's going on? Tell me what's up. And no, I'm not fishing for information because, believe it or not, I've already recorded this reading and I can't hear you yelling back at your computer monitor. All right, I'm just kidding. Let's get serious now. Well, at least for a little bit. I was like kind of mini meditating on your reading here, and I got the smell of like fresh baked cookies. So knowing the bachelor that I am, that is definitely not coming from my kitchen, and hopefully I'm not having a stroke. And intuitively, like this sense of smell of like warm chocolate chip cookies is more like maybe like the comforts of home are coming through for some of you, or you're feeling a situation where you're like in gratitude of your comfort or this time, or maybe you are setting aside time to make sure that you are surrounded in comfort. Maybe you're like back to your basic level of needs. It's like you're kind of polishing that up, like new wardrobes, new bedding, things like that, where it's just like when you get home and you like come to your sanctuary, it's like very warm and welcoming is the feeling I have. Okay, there we go. These wisdom and direction cards are going to set the tone for the cusp readings and the romance readings. Please do check those out if you're born on the cusp. They're also going to set the tone for these general readings. You guys have pulled card number 52, Mending, as your overall wisdom. So for some of you, this is a situation here where it's like dealing with others, getting along with others. And again, like we think of socks, mending your socks, your comforts. There could be some of you that are like kind of managing things financially. Some of you could be a situation where it's like you're making things work. You're making the best out of what you have. Some of you at this present time, I feel, could be mending your relationship with, people on the other side right now as well. There could be situations where, like, spiritually, this is a very aware, awake, and advanced time for you with this mending card. As well, this is a situation where you could be patching up small distances or small arguments that have occurred with people in your life. And you're like, you know what? It wasn't such that big a deal. Let's get together and let's, sort it out over a cup of tea or, that kind of thing. So this is a good card to see here. This is a card of progressive healing. This is a card of progressive building, weaving, sewing, intertwining, intermingling. So when it comes, I feel it's going to be a very harmonious month for you of October, Libra, especially when it comes to dealing with other and taking care of yourself, okay? Those are the two big themes with that. It's a wisdom card. So when it comes to seeing that in your wisdom, it's kind of like, where can we improve? Where can we make somebody else feel comfortable around us? Are we being as accommodating as we can be? Are we being too accommodating and someone's getting the best of it? Didn't take long for direction to come forward, Libra. We've got this card of sad embrace. Okay, so maybe some of you have been hurt. Maybe some of you have gone through some recent separations, like, summer romance, like Grease style, has kind of come to an end where, like, John and Olivia said goodbye at the end of the movie, where it's like, but it's okay. You know that it's like serving a higher purpose, or it's setting you up for something more. Or perhaps this is a situation where it's like you're longing for the comforts of love, the comforts of romance. And if there isn't that certain somebody there in your life right now, maybe it's hitting you a little bit hard as the leaves are turning colors on the trees and the winds are starting to blow at this time. And you're like, oh, goodness, I just wish that I could have somebody to call my own, right? And this sad embrace is like a situation. It comes back as well to this. Maybe some of you are bridging a gap, or you're feeling a little bit of regrets now somebody may have passed, or someone on the other side is like, you're kind of longing for them or wishing for them at this time. And my heart goes out to you, Libra, if sort of certain environmental conditions are leading you to kind of think about this a lot more or do a lot more feeling about this. But it's okay. It's a healing process is what we're seeing here. It's mending, and it may be a little bit sad. You may have some tears that you need to shed. You may need to go to rage room and beat the heck out of a TV with a baseball bat. They have that these days. If you want to go and get your anger out constructively and destroy something, you actually can go and do that if you want. But this is a situation here. It's like, do what you can in your direction to make your surroundings, make your environments accommodating for yourselves, and make make it a situation where it's like you don't feel lonely. Make it so that you are very comfortable in your solitude. And if you're sending out energies to bring people in that harmony with others into your life, it's kind of like we can't like worry too much about what has already happened or any preconceived notions we have in the future. We just have to let it all go in the present moment, knowing that, you know, there are angels and our own selves, like our own spirit guides and our celestial families around us at all times that are caring for us. And it can overflow into the physical plane, but do what you can, I feel, to be accommodating, you know, especially if people are like, you know, come along, come out with us on a Friday or a Saturday night, and you're just kind of like not used to it. Maybe now is the time where you're like, you know what, okay, maybe it is time to go hang out with Group B instead of Group A, you know, just for a little while, and maybe you'll feel some differences in sort of social positioning and things like that, whatever that means to you. Okay, all right, let's get into your Celtic Cross. This is strictly your 3D mundane. This is like anybody with two eyes. So I got a flipper in there somewhere. I'm not going to read it because it was already there. It was the Knight of Swords. So that's you guys moving through the 3D, right, Libra? Let's see what we got. This is the part of the reading where it's like anybody with like two eyeballs and a mouth could like open up a deck of tarot and tell you this kind of stuff. All right, we're just going to kind of look at it, see what's going on, get a feeling, and then we'll move into the more esoteric part of it, the more like kind of the deeper end of things. What is that? Ralph has that diving deep, right? That's a great channel. I don't promote him, but I do. I started watching it before I started my own YouTube channel, and it actually like got me inspired to start creating YouTube videos. And maybe for some of you, that message or why that came out just now was like, maybe some of you do need to be challenged to go up and start something new for yourself that doesn't involve sort of longingness or kind of relying on other people for happiness at this time. Okay, Tarot, what Oz Libra need to know for the month of October 2017? Looking for Libra 2017. All right. Oh yeah, Celtic Cross. That's what's going on here. God, my fingers are just out of control here. I gotta get a feeling. We're gonna put this one back, Libra. Okay, I don't know. It didn't feel right. I was like kind of like up in the air. And forgive me, like all this shuffle time is, I promise you, it's for a reason. The tarot needs to get like divinely ordered. There's nothing like that I can do until like I get the green light or the go ahead. And like that was just kind of like a little false start there. Like I jumped the starting gun. Libra, come on, tarot. We were looking for Libra. Oh, there we go. That is feeling a lot better. So let's take a look and see what's going on for you guys this month of October. Like I said, we're just looking at the nitty gritty right now. Tarot loves the nitty gritty, and I love it too, right? Until it's like time to go to work on Monday morning. All right, bottom of the deck, you guys have got the Seven of Wands. So there could be situations where you're out about, you're getting things done, but you're kind of wanting to go it alone. You could be jockeying for position at present time, or other people could be all up on your shtick. They're trying to get a piece of your pie. They could be like trying to like take your credit at this time, that sort of thing. Could be a situation as well where it's like maybe you just have too much demand for what you're able to supply right now in terms of if you own your own business or if you have a great new idea at work. It's kind of like you want to make sure that you are staying ahead of the field, staying ahead of the crowd, all right? This sort of situation. Make sure that you're not coming across too shrewdly at this point in time. You don't want to be too closed off, but at the same time, the feeling I have is that you're remaining quite defensive over certain situations. Okay, card at the bottom of the deck. We got a reversal on a Queen of Wands here. So some of you are dealing with a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius, and this is somebody that could really be like stirring the pot. This could be somebody that is like a really bad manager, very bossy. This could be somebody that is like mismanaging people, misallocating funds. This is somebody here that has like only got their own sort of narcissistic, egoic agenda and doesn't care who they use to get ahead as in regards to this when this card shows up like this, all right? So this showing up as sort of the querent card. Some of you are struggling with a person in authority that is acting like this, and some of you may be at risk where it's kind of like you're being asked to sort of lessen up, like lighten up a little bit on sort of your your kind of dictator leadership ways. Some of you may be even forced to be a little bit this way this time, but it's like knowing when to hit the brakes, to shut that off is going to be huge, okay? But that's just for a few of you. For the majority of you, I feel you're dealing with like sort of a wicked fiery energy at this time. Someone whose own passions have them blinded to the fact that they could be hurting you or your loved ones at this time, okay? It's almost like what is crossing you. But what is crossing you here, your challenge is the Queen of Pentacles. How do we ground this energy? How do we talk some sense into this person? How do we get them to see that it's going to be okay. We can just take it easy and it's all going to work out for the best. It's kind of like when people have that sort of silent witness attitude, it's just like, just let it happen. Let it be. Like, let's do our best and let's see how it turns out. Let's see the reaction we get. But when people are just like, go super OCD about it, like, it's never good enough. You have to try harder. You have to do it my way. There's no other way. And then that's when things really get botched up. So somebody's not really hearing the lesson of like, you have to sort of really ground yourself in this energy of this situation that you're working on here. There could be situations now where there is love triangle between earth, air, and fire elements here. Different energies coming in at this time, all right? Some of you could be feeling a situation where it's like there is like a controlling partner in a marriage, but somebody's been tempted to go out on a limb or maybe started seeking fulfillment or is complaining elsewhere about this situation at present time. Some of you could be feeling this very defensive attitude because maybe your lover has been coming at you like very demanding as of late, okay? That sort of situation, all right? Let's see what's crowning the reading. Got a reversal on the Emperor card. Again, wow, somebody is just like control crazy at this time. And this now has like double Aries stamp on this reading. It's like, for those of you Libras that are involved with Aries at this time, just sort of let them have their kind of their temper tantrum or their snippet or give them what they want at present time. Let them have their hollow victory at this time because what is coming in from Crown Energy is like somebody is losing control because they are gripping something too tightly. They're unable to their ego has taken over. It's like they can't just live and let live, so to speak, is the feeling I have, okay? Coming in from the past, Six of Wands. So maybe somebody really has like kind of rained on your parade or stolen your credit, the feeling is, Libra. You've worked very hard. Now you've had to be very defensive because it wasn't like good enough for somebody else or they took your accolades and they took it and they presented it as their own and you're kind of like, what, WTF? Why would you screw me over like that? And it's just like, it's kind of left you wondering. But there are certain people, the feeling is here is that your humble attitude, whatever like humility or humbleness you're bringing into October is eventually going to serve you very well. People know you as like steadfast, adaptable, willing to accommodate, willing to work with others very well, okay? So, and if some of you are in a situation where you are fed up with a fire sign in your life, you've maybe on the back burner in the back of your mind have made the decision that you are going to do something about it, but maybe you haven't just sort of taken action in it yet. So you're kind of like, I feel like sort of letting the fire burn inside. No, that's not the right analogy. What am I trying to say? You've got this idea in your mind, but you're not spilling the beans on this. You're just kind of going to let this person, give them just enough rope to tie their own noose, or to make something constructive of it. You're going to play judge and jury in this situation. You're going to let this person have their cake and eat it too. And if they end up with cake on their face, then at that time you can say, I've known it all along, and that's why I was acting so defensive, right? So that sort of situation. It's almost like you're mending situations and you're biding your time sort of in sorrow right now because you know that in your silence and in your knowingness, there is a victory that is coming, but you have to let whatever fiery energy that is challenging you right now either ground itself or burn out or fizzle itself out, okay? Now, the foundation of your reading, Eight of Pentacles. Stay focused, Libra. Don't let this person get the best of you. You do you, in other words. You stay focused, you stay grounded, and you stay out of this person's wheelhouse or out of this person's sort of radar, and you'll do just fine. And I think that if you get involved with your work, and again, if you're partnered up with an earth sign, a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo this time, it could be a very mutually beneficial or harmonious relationship for you guys to stay focused and actually get some work done, okay? Get some things settled, get some plans enacted. Because, wow, more Pentacles. The near future, the King of Pentacles reversed. All right, so you're kind of between a rock and a hard place. It's almost like you're playing the earth sign off the fire sign, and you kind of are like kind of minding your P's and Q's about all at the same time. Now, but the situation in the near future is you're going to have to want to watch from betrayal from somebody here. So, and I don't know what that means. It's kind of like if you're tempted to like come outside of your relationship at this time, watch, because somebody could get caught red-handed here, or somebody could be in a situation where they get a little bit too greedy. And if it's this fiery energy, don't worry. This person is going to end up on their keister. This person is going to end up being humiliated at some point in time. And your like level of humility and humbleness, I see this, you're preventing this from happening to you, but it's like being redirected, like back, somebody's mirroring it back on themselves is the situation I have. Because the challenge is the Queen of Pentacles cross, and the near future is the King of Pentacles reverse. So this situation here is like, somebody is like trying to ground a situation, but they're too flighty. They're too unable to ground the situation. And if you're a young Libra listening, the situation here is kind of like you're going to really have to mind your P's and Q's. Or older people in your environment could be pointing fingers at you, could be accusing you of things. So just sort of remain humble, remain focused, okay? That's a situation around. Wow, more Pentacles. So somebody is in situations here where there's like maybe some big investments or some big time like money that's like changing hands or going back and forth, or somebody has really got their hand in the cookie jar here, and they're, there's a lot of money to be made, or maybe there's some shady business deals going down for some of you, or maybe there's a situation where it's like somebody married for money, and now they're clearly like just trying to get out of it, and they it's all going to come back on them, or some poor fool like got taken for all they were worth on some sort of scam or something like this. Okay. Now, this card is coming up in your environment, Seven of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here is like you're going to have to bide your time. You're going to have to let things go to a point of, culmination. It's almost like waiting for a movie to end, where it's like you've pieced all of the mystery together already as you've watched the movie, and now you're almost at like that climactic moment where it's like you're going to find out whether you were right or whether the writer of the movie is going to prove you wrong and throw in some sort of like weird twist. So my advice to you seeing the Seven of Pentacles environment is just bide your time. Again, I can't stress this enough. If you fly off the handle emotionally or passionately at this time, or you feel you can get control by like throwing somebody else under the bus, try and refrain from doing that. And even if somebody is throwing you under the bus, you are your own best defense in your humility of this situation. Whoever they're trying to talk to or convince that you are like not doing your job or you're a bad person, that person's not buying it, okay? Or just you, like I said, you do you, bide your time, and it's going to be okay. Because the environment is saying like, this might not happen in October. You might be going through all of this in October, but you may not see a resolution, okay? It may just like be taking a little bit longer than that, okay? All right. Best path to follow. You've got the Three of Cups reversed here. Be careful who you're talking to. This is a time of like trust, like you're good friends. You want to make sure that whoever you're talking to about what's going on is completely removed from the situation. It's almost like, like even if like this is happening at work and you go home and you tell your significant other about it, but maybe your husband golfs with a guy who knows a guy that, is at your workplace, you're going to even want to like kind of keep it buttoned, keep it zipped up, whatever it is going on here. Whoever you wanting to confide in, to trust in, the Three of Cups reversed is saying, make sure they have nothing to do with the situation. Make sure that they are completely removed, all right? Otherwise, something could come back on you or the situation, all right? Hopes and fears, Three of Wands. So not getting what you want, maybe not getting this share of all these pentacles or whatever was promised with this Three of Wands. Or maybe there's a situation where it's like you have to completely walk away. You have to like either mend this friendship or amend some sort of resolution in yourself so that you can move on, so that you can sort of bridge the divide to get to where you want to go, rather than the feeling of this reading of just sort of chasing yourselves in circles, right? And I say circles because look at all the pentacles that are uphill. Yeah, it's an uphill battle for sure with this Three of Wands of what I'm feeling. But this is a card of spirit and determination. Make sure that you know what you want. Weigh out in your mind how important all of this is to you. And if it isn't all that important, well, maybe we're just like kind of worrying for not all too much, right? Maybe our hopes are much further reaching than what we're just seeing here in the day-to-day things. Or maybe the Three of Wands has led us to be like a little bit more introspective, and questioning of what we actually need to be. I really like this Eight of Pentacles in your reading here, in this foundation, this grounding. Stay focused, stay quiet as a little mousy, Libra, and everything will kind of like work itself out, or it'll come to a culmination, and where you are going to be left in a position where you're going to feel liberated. You're going to feel free now to like go out, and whether or not this ship comes in and all this money, you get your share or whatever that is for somebody that is following that plot line, it's yet to be determined. I can't see into that with that Three of Wands. But if that's what you're hoping for, like I said, follow this advice. Follow this advice, okay? Your best path to follow. Overall outcome, if nothing changes, your options are being reduced if nothing changes throughout the reading. So it's throughout the month of October, sorry. So at some point you are going to have to take action. A decision is coming that you are going to have to make, but you're going to have to want to evaluate how you're going to make that decision, or you're kind of like narrowing the field down of what your options are at this time. Because you may find that you are presented with an ultimatum sometime through October or in early November. And the Seven of Cups reversed to me is that. It's an ultimatum that is coming down the line, for you. Or you may be presenting an ultimatum to somebody else at this time. Okay? So Libra, that is your Gilded Tarot basic reading. Let's take a quick look at our energy centers and our chakras, okay? And then, that's kind of what we're doing. Just a reminder to check out, if you're born near the cusp, to check out the Cusp series that are going to be uploaded as well. And I have started doing a little like romance readings as well for just some bonus content, because I appreciate you guys following and subscribing to the channel and watching these videos. And if you like me and if you like what's going on here, why not watch a little more, right? It's kind of one of those things. I know I'm not quite as good as Grey's Anatomy or Revenge of the Nerds or Family Guy, but you know what? In this day and age of YouTube, you know what? You might as well be kind of in a situation where you can turn it on and just like be lost in the ether and find yourself through all of these hidden messages as they hit in this particular moment in space and time. Wow. All right, we got this coming out. These cards. And when I say this moment in space and time, it's like, even though we like identify with these signs, our zodiac signs, it's like when you hear these messages, it's normally the right time. It's normally like, it's designed that way, sort of for a grander purpose or a greater intention. Look at this. The crown chakra showed up. And it revealed itself before any of the other chakras, and that rarely happens, all right? And look at this. This is equivalent of a Three of Cups again. So, again, loyalties and your close personal friends, your confidence. Crown chakra is going to be showing you who your true allies are during this month, I feel. And these connections with people, you may even find that you've mended a friendship now that is going to become solidified or even stronger than it was before, because you may have gone through a certain hiccup or a certain like Ross and Rachel. Maybe you went on a break and now you're back together, or some sort of the air has been cleared about some sort of situation, and now it's stronger. The Three of Cups, the Three of Water here is really saying like, be in harmony with other people. And if you are being faced with challenges, just simply make that choice not to put yourself in that energy, but to say, hey, I'm going out with my friends. I'm going over here to do this. You know what? If you want to be in a huff and puff over here, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be a huff and puff by yourself because it's bringing me down kind of thing. You may want to not be a little more subtle than that, right? But the situation is surround yourself with good people and the good feeling will surround you. 3 of Cups is an awesome card here to have coming in from Crown Chakra. Get together with your new age group, your social circle of enlightened friends, and that is going to benefit you so much if you can sort of like get rid of the daily stress of like the money, the 9 to 5, whatever it is that might have you go down at this time, okay? All right, root chakra. Look at this. We've got this 6 of Fire reversed, and we saw this card up in the other reading too. This card is generally saying to me is like if you're faced with conflict, make sure that you're not losing any sleep over it. Get your rest this month, eat healthy, take care of your body, and almost like for some of you working out like you're passionate about it, but you're lacking some of the discipline and you just need to get that discipline going on and then you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And for some of you, this is a situation where what's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander. So maybe if you have like somebody who's like touting this new diet or is like trying to spread this information of like some miracle cure that worked for them and you're just like, wow, you're nuts, Charlie. That sounds like it might not be good for you. And if anyone is pushing their agenda on you in this month, I feel like you're going to be very direct to step up and be like, no, that's not what my body asks for. That's not what I'm in alignment with, right? And it's kind of true. We're all on a personal journey. We all want to be a part of the collective and feel that collective, but yet at the same time, we're all on this very personal, unique, eternal journey. So it's like, if people in your circles are like saying you must do this or you must do that, it's like make sure you don't follow blindly at this time, okay? Listen to your body very much, Libra. Okay, creative centers. Look at this beautiful card that's come up. Now, we've got this 6 of Air here that's going on, and I don't even know what to say about this card. This is a card saying that you need to move forward. This goes back to that 3 of Wands we saw. I feel it's like you're waiting for your break. You're waiting for your opportunity. But I think that some of you should be journaling. I really do. I think that if you like go like too many days without recording maybe just like how something made you feel, or you have an idea but you let it subside without documenting it, it's like it's lost in the ether and then it's gone forever. And then for some of you, the feeling I have is that your creative center is wanting to change direction for you. It's wanting to almost spin you like 180 degrees and be like, you may have been following a certain passion, but it's almost like, are you in alignment with is this what the universe wants? Maybe you're struggling with getting just the right painting or just the right thing to come out, and then your ego says, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good at this, where it's just like a simple shift in thinking or design may be all that it takes to get you into a little bit more of a calmer frame of mind when you go in, because when we're doing our creative, it's meant to be both a creative process and a bit of an escape from the things that stress us out or the things that are our main responsibilities. Remember, keep it light, keep it fun, all right? If our creativity is seeming too much like work, we need to step back out of it, okay? So, wow. And in the solar plexus, intuitively, if we do that, look at this. We are in a situation where our burden will lessen. It will seem a lot less like work and more like joyful, exuberant bliss surrounding, the pen stroke or the brush stroke, or maybe it's your thumb going across the strings of a cello or a guitar, whatever it might be if you're musically inclined. Intuitively, I feel this is a strong creative month for you guys. You should be taking the time to write your songs, to journal your dreams, to write your stories, to get it all down and have the discipline to do it. If people are calling you out and like wanting too much of your time, it's almost like the universe is like saying, take a step back, like create, lock the door, lock the front door, turn off the cell phone, get out the paint mats or whatever it is and get it done. To see this up in the intuitive center, I have a feeling like you guys are in a position of power this month, but it's like a lot of things are there kind of running parallel to you that are like consistently trying to like gain at you or ask you for your attention, your responsibility. And it's like if you give it too much, then you lose out. But if you give it too little, you maybe become worried or feeling like you're off the beaten track. So try to find this balance within yourself. It's like if you want to just take an hour to be creative, do it. Turn off the tech, lock the door, and do it for an hour. And then come back into the world and see how refreshed you are. And for some of you, that could be just like discipline in through meditation as well, what I'm seeing there. So we get up into the art here. We got more swords, more air element, and that's good. Remember, we see this stuff reflective of your sign when we see all these swords. It's like you guys are the knight of swords, like moving through this. So with this in your heart, watch out. Somebody is spreading a mistruth, I feel. Somebody might even be gossiping about you and might really got you down, or somebody might be talking about you behind your back and you're aware of it, and it might be like very heavy on your heart right now, or somebody you might just know is straight up lying to you and you're afraid to confront it at this time. But we don't want to be in fear. We just want to make sure that we're cutting to the truth. We're getting some clarity. Okay, this ace of air reversed, it's kind of like you might have as well experienced a little bit of bad luck. You might have gone through, some of you, this bad breakup that's coming in from this side where it's like, don't worry, you might have just like kind of had been putting this person on a pedestal and then they proved to be like a bit of a fool. All right, speaking of fools, I am the most foolish tarot reader you'll ever see. But you know what? It's more for your bang for your buck because you got a lot. Yeah, look, we got somebody that's up to no good, trying to get away with a little bit of something, and they could be trying to control the situation as well, all right? But your heart is like struggling to stay open. You're trying to see the brighter side, but in doing so, your anchor is up. You're kind of afloat. You're kind of like you're not within your own power. You're not staying within yourself, and that can be a tricky situation to be in, especially if you're trying to accomplish things, get things done with three of wands and get where you're going. All right, it's not going to happen very quickly for you. Unfortunately, is that feeling I still have, Libra, and I wish I had better news. It might take this whole month just to figure this stuff out, and then it will move forward, or then it will like make itself known to you. Okay, look at this. The key to liberation. It's like trying to get yourself free, trying to get yourself to a place where it's like you know, nobody else has dominion over how you're feeling, where you go, what you say, or what you do. That sort of situation. Be comfortable within yourself. All right, be good to yourself. If you're in a situation where maybe, you know, you can't be with your besties all the time and you have to come back into this situation, whether it's a solitude or a loveless, relationship or a situation, the answer here in your heart is to be kind to yourself. Be appreciative of yourself and take the time that you need through creativity, through rest to do that, and through maybe a better, some better dieting for you guys, some better choices when it comes to health and eating, okay? So here she is now, the Queen of Water up in your throat chakra. So intuitively, you're not speaking your wisdom. You're not speaking your truth, Libra, I feel. You might be trying to, or you might be even thinking that you are, but it's like sometimes you go to like maybe give somebody a piece of your mind or lay all your cards out, but it just like comes out all wrong, and you're like, dang, oh darn it, like that's not what I meant, or like I wish I would have said that different before I said goodbye, that kind of thing is a feeling I have with this Queen of Water. It's like you're maybe struggling a little bit to say what's on your mind, to tell people how you're feeling, and you really need to do that. You really need to clear the air before like this mending can happen, right? It's like before we can move forward, we have to make sure that we are aware of what the other person is going through. So communication is a big challenge, I feel. But when we looked at that mundane reading, it's kind of like you guys maybe just be feeling intuitively like being quiet as a mouse is good, right? But when we see this up in the communication center, watch. If you like to have a few cocktails or a few too many cocktails, beers or wine or whatever, make sure you're doing it in a situation where it's only your besties. If you do this around work colleagues and you end up spilling the beans or say something that could come back on you, don't say I didn't warn you, okay, Libra? All right. Now we pulled this card, the Scribe, and this has a lot of heavy air energy behind it as well. And this card is in reverse in the third eye position. Some of you are ready to just be done with it. You're almost like ready, like the thought of like starting anew and starting brand new is huge for you, because like look at this as it comes up, right? This is big energy where it's like you're kind of immobile right now. You're kind of feeling like you're unable to do something, but this longingness for a new beginning, for a more direct, straight path is like huge for you right now, and it's like you're wanting it very badly, I feel. But it's kind of like you're in a situation where it's like if you can't take the steps necessary, or if you're worried, if somebody else has got you worried about what's going on, you can't do this until we've let go of a little bit of apprehension and some fear. Okay, Libra, I'm going to say it just like that because that's the feeling I've got, and that's what the story that the cards have told me. Okay, so direction, sad embrace. Be kind to yourself, forgive others, be accommodating to your own needs, to your own comforts at this time, and use that when you start feeling well. If somebody else is going through a situation, or if you're needing to be in better harmony with the people around you, Libra, just do it on a very subtle, on a very casual, on a very loving level, through, small steps in communication, and you'll get the resolve you're searching for. And if it's somebody that's very has a lot of authority or power over you, just bide your time. Just be very careful of what you're revealing at this time. Okay, those are the major capstones for the reading. All right, Libra, that's a tight one that you're going through. I wish you all the best of luck and success. Know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.